Joining me is Sean Spicer, Donald Trump's first White House spokesman as president. Sean Spicer, great to see you again. Look, I don't understand what Donald Trump is up to in Ukraine. Is he going to cut Ukraine off at the knees? Is he getting tough on Putin as well that we don't know about? What's going on?
So here's my take on this. And it was interesting. Zelensky the other day, the Ukrainian president, said in an interview with I think it was in that Dubai forum, that he told President Trump, Putin respects you. You're the only person he fears. And at the end of the day, if we really truly want as an ultimate goal this war to end, the killing to end, the bloodshed to end, then I think Donald Trump, as always, sees himself as the ultimate deal maker. And so I think if you're Trump, you say, great, then I will call him. Let's find some terms that are acceptable and cut this thing off. And I mean, look, I think that, of course, Ukraine has to be involved in the ultimate solution. But right now, this is the two people who can actually make a deal that matters. So Team Trump and Team Putin need to get in a room, figure it out, and then get everyone else on board. The ultimate goal is to end the bloodshed.
Well, yes, but also on what terms, you see. And
I agree.
I
agree with
it's
that.
going to be like selling out Czechoslovakia before World War II. I mean, that doesn't appease.
But Andrew, at the end of the day,
bad guys.
Sure, and if it's a bad deal, both Europe and I'm sure Ukraine, which is the biggest, player in an ultimate solution, have to say yes. If Ukraine doesn't like the deal, they're going to say no and reject it out of hand. But at the end of the day, especially from where the U.S. taxpayer sits, if we're going to continue to fund this, then we have a say in ultimately ending it. Not just the dollars that go over there, but the number of people whose lives are at risk, the Ukrainians especially, the number of innocent Ukrainians that have died, that if we can have a hand in creating a solution that ends that, then I'm all for it. Now, as you said, the terms matter, and Ukraine ultimately will have to abide by them and agree to them if we're going to have a true solution.
Look, I think you made the big point there, that here's American taxpayers doing the bulk of the heavy lifting, or at least disproportionately heavy lifting, in a European war. Well, you've got Europe so weak. I don't know whether you saw it, Sean, but the chairman of that Munich Security Conference talking about this, bursting into tears on Sunday night. I mean, what an example, what a symbol of Europe's weakness, that he cries because they're not part of the deal making.
Yeah, I mean, look, you wonder why Putin doesn't fear them or take them seriously. These are their borders. This is their continent that needs to be concerned most about this. And it's the U.S. once again to the rescue on this. If Europe really wanted to have a say in it, then step up. It's plain and simple. It's just they want to lecture everybody else. And I think that's why J.D. Vance was so right in that speech he gave on Friday. This isn't, people keep talking about the friendship. Friends don't do that to each other. They don't say, hey, we'll all go out to dinner and you'll pick up the tab every night. That's not a friend.
Just look, Sean, you've seen Donald Trump up close, obviously. You would know him far better than, anyone of us, any people watching or whatever. The knock on him from the media left is that he's got this warm, fuzzy feeling for dictators like Vladimir Putin. Strong people impress him. And I wonder whether you think that is the Trump you know. What do you think how do you think he sees a war criminal like Putin?
Yeah, this is where the American media largely gets it wrong. What Trump sees is a challenge more than anything else. Tell him that he can't do something, that a deal can't be struck, that a person can't be overcome. And to him, he says, bring it on. All of these people, look at where, Hillary Clinton said she had a reset button, and she presented it with him. Vladimir Putin, I mean, Obama said that, told Medvedev to go back and tell him that I'll have more flexibility when my election has come. They all bend a knee at Putin, for goodness sake. And Donald Trump comes along, and by Zelensky's own, admission to Trump, he fears him. Maybe he finds him erratic. Maybe he doesn't know, unpredictable. But the bottom line is that Donald Trump invokes a sense of strength that Putin fears. And that's what I want as an American. I want people to fear us, to fear our president. And Donald Trump brings back a level of respect that we've been, failing to show for the last 4 years in particular.
Very right to remind us of Hillary Clinton's reset button and Obama on a hot mic saying, tell Putin I've got more flexibility later. But you've also forgot George W. Bush, right? When he first met Putin, saying, I've looked into his eyes, I've seen his soul, and being completely, absolutely fooled.
Think about that. Think about that, right? These last three presidents of both parties have tried to basically say, I like him, I can deal with him. No one said that they were patsies for dictators. And yet Donald Trump gets up there and he says, I can get a deal with him. I can stand up to him. And they say, oh, what's his, wait a second. When Hillary Clinton brought a reset button over to him and tried to make a joke of their aggression, you think how did that go over? Where was the concern then of our media and our left? None.
Very good points, but I think in the end, the proof will be in the eating. We shall see what the deal is, and then we can, I guess, fulminate or in fact praise him. We shall see. Sean Spicer, always great to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely, Andrew.